Hello everybody, welcome back to another day of training every single day. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully I'm going to be able to inspire you to get some movement in, which is improvement, and just to be better and live a more vigorous life. So I started off this morning with some jumping and some sprinting, focusing on the full body coordination. My technique is a lot better because I've been focusing a little bit on the running technique. And yeah, I pushed, I warmed up for the running by doing a lot of backwards walking through to warm up, which is really good to keep the knees intact. Right now, I feel like my knees have been properly fatigued. I put a lot of work in that trains kind of the entire body, but the knees are the limiting factor, and I just need to let them rest for a little bit. So here I'm working on the overhead mobility with the pull cue, or any kind of stick will work for you if you're trying to build some overhead shoulder mobility. It's really important to get some control over the scapula and the shoulders because they are the most mobile joint in the body, and they take a lot of time to develop. So I'm still continuing on with the L-sit pull-up mobility training in the shoulders. I can do one pretty good L-sit pull-up with the pull-up technique. I can't quite do it with the chin-up technique yet, but I am making a lot of progress. I'm having a lot of good days that are getting me closer and closer to my goal. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. I worked a little bit on the extensors of the hands. Another great way to train your hands is just to use them intentionally throughout your life. Having strong grip is very important. You can just grab onto things, manipulate, fidget with small objects, and just make sure to use all the directions, all the fingers, the pinching, the anti-pinching, pushing, extending, training all those aspects. I work a little bit of the handstand balance here, getting to do this tuck handstand here. Quite nice. I'm working on doing different entries. Normally I do a lot of entries from the squat and just putting my hands down, or just a straight arm press. So I'm working on trying to get into some non-linear entries into the handstand, just to develop more and more control over the handstand position and all the different ways that you can enter a handstand and keep in there. Training the balance is a lot of fun. And then I train the splits. I start off with a horse stance, a very wide horse stance. This is a very accessible movement for everybody, just to squat down with your legs apart. They don't have to be quite as far apart as me. There's different ways of doing it for different goals and intentions. This is the way you'd want to do it if you're trying to build up to do a middle splits. Otherwise, you can keep them in a little bit tighter and hold it for a lot of time to build some endurance in the hips and the legs. It's a very traditional form of training done in a lot of martial arts. A lot of Shaolin monks and Kung Fu practitioners will do this sort of horse stance here to build up a lot of endurance in the legs. I do this a good amount, and then I rep out some middle split attempts. So one of the best ways to stay limber throughout your life is to, adopt a regular nighttime stretching routine. Stretch at night before you go to bed, when you're going to be mostly sedentary, and then you can wake up and you can, not have to stretch out and have more vigor throughout the day. I really think it's really good to have two main practices, two separate parts of the practice of the nighttime stretching. One being a very consistent, a very straightforward approach where you stretch out some of the prime movers of your body, mainly the hips and the shoulders, and then whatever else is specific to you that's important for you to be mobile for your life. And then also have another portion where you can focus on a more short-term goals, where you kind of feel like, oh, this part of the body needs to be stretched, whatever seems to be fun, whatever allows you to play, be creative, kind of flow and move around in a undirected way where you can be creative and improvise and, learn to express some movement and learn about training in that sort of way. Here, this movement is more of an intermediate to advanced movement. The reverse Nordic curl, good for training the knees and the quads and the butt some. Very good, mainly for fortifying the knees. I get that mainly from the knees over toes guy on YouTube. And then I go into some balancing work where I try to work on some inversions, switching elbows that I'm going on. I try not to touch my head to the floor and just keep my head within my hands. When my hair is short like this, nothing really touches the floor. But when my hair gets longer, sometimes it ends up scraping the ground, unfortunately. Very dirty ground. I worked a little bit on hand speed, something that I've been liking recently, where I'm trying to move as quickly as possible throughout the hands, trying to be dexterous. Otherwise, let me know what you guys are training for in the comments if you think I'm training and missing anything or some cool moves to attempt. I'm going to try to incorporate a lot more running and sprinting outside and some jumping like I did first thing in the morning, because sprinting is a really great way to build up a lot of leg strength and just to build up the legs in a natural mobility way, to actually train your own mobility beyond just the bodily mobility where you can flex a joint, but to move the body throughout space throughout space. Here is where I actually get calves to the ground in the splits. And overall, that's all I really did today. So thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel. It's absolutely free. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can leave one of those super likes. And I will see you in the next video. So thank you guys all for watching. Sincerely, thank you. Bye-bye.